What's up, legends? I'm back and I'm better. It's like I missed you more than ever. Okay. I missed you guys. You know, I've been doing the lives, doing all the things. I missed being able to control the energy more, okay? As a Aquarius, we value control. I wanted to first of all, let me introduce myself, because I know it's been a lot of new people flooding through. If you are new, welcome. First of all, my name is Nia, aka B Legend. Welcome. I'm so happy that you decided to join us here in our little legendary tribe space, big legendary tribe space. Excuse me. We gotta clock it, okay? And if you are returning, then you already know what is going on, okay? You literally already know. Legend gang, okay? I'm feeling silly today. I wanted to address the lives, okay? Now, granted, I feel like I've been doing a pretty good job, but there's always room for improvement. You guys know I always go back and rewatch my videos, and I critique myself, and that's literally how I get better, you know? I feel like it is important to acknowledge that in the last live especially, it called to my attention a need to bring up inner child work, right? I know we used to talk about that a lot in the previous years. I want to say in 2023 that was probably the topic that we talked about the most, and probably also in 2024. I think in 2024 we really started to dive into our divine masculine and our divine feminine energies as like in our adult selves, or like our young adult selves. But now specifically, I think especially after this Aries full moon, it's the perfect time. We're still in the shadow period. Let's not get it twisted, because we're still feeling the effects of the shadow period, right? When I'm talking about the shadow period of a new or full moon, is usually 3 days before, 3 days after, okay? So a total of 6 days. But even though those 6 days occur, you know, even though those 3 days after the full moon have already passed, we're still dealing with the active effects of that full moon. So we talked about how the Aries full moon really was a push for us to push our motives forward, right? To literally keep going. Like, to all of the things that we were creating, to really take the leadership role and to understand why we were put in this role, because you have something valuable to say, right? Not just something to say, you have something valuable to say. And Spirit was I want to say challenging you, but also egging you on to really sit in this abundance that you've created, to look around you and realize you've literally created all of this abundance, right? Even though we can nitpick at the things that we don't like, right? We know with abundance there also comes naysayers with the people that are celebrating us, right? All of these things are happening simultaneously. We know that we're experiencing peak highs and peak joys, while we're also experiencing, and for some of us, reliving some of the lowest moments that we've literally ever seen. But it's all for the purpose of evolution, right? Just how I said I rewatch my videos and I critique myself, I do believe that's the same reason why our brain brings back up these really old traumatic memories, so that we can look at them from a different scope and then say, okay, how does this apply to me now? And how did I evolve? How can I further evolve, so that I'm hesitant to say that this will never happen again, but so that I'll never be in an energy where this can affect me like how it affected me in the past, okay? I just said a lot of things, but I hope you guys are following. Now let's talk about the inner child, because it came to me last night that first of all, in the lives, I want to address my verbiage and my rhetoric towards people that come into the live more than likely they're newer to the page. They don't know me. They don't know, you know, what Legend Tribe is about. They don't understand, you know, that I've been telling you guys like my personal stories and my, you know, personal struggles and my alignment with the messages. They don't understand that I've been doing this for over 3 years now. So when people come in and they say things like, I remember one comment on the last live specifically was talking about like my nose ring and using devil cards. And I don't think I was like super mean to that person, but I definitely did not match them with the energy of love that I should have. And then I continued to talk about addressing stuff and not sweeping it under the rug, okay? But the problem wasn't that I addressed it. The problem was how I addressed it. And Spirit brought to me, that's because you really haven't been working on your inner child like that. Like, I've been talking to my inner child. I've been asking her, like, you know, what does she need? You know, my inner child, masculine energy, what does he need in order to feel safe? In order to feel like he can make decisions. You know, it's one thing to know that you have the ability to make a decision, but to know that you can do it, quote unquote, right? You know, in a way, I think that's more so masculine child energy for me. Masculine inner child energy. Anyways, I'll go ahead and move off of that. Moving forward, I will do my best to address every comment with a lot more love and with a lot more grace. And the reasons why I'm saying this is because the comments that come in that are quote unquote, like, you know, I would call them like the naysayers or the haters or whatever, they aren't speaking anything that I haven't spoken to myself at one point in my life. So for me to come back at you and to act like, you know, you're just in the wrong, or, you know, you don't know anything, I'm not going to sit up here and act like I'm higher than anybody else or I'm more special than anybody else. That's inner child work. Inner child work will bring you around back to the center to understand how you fit into the one, even if you don't necessarily like your position, or if you don't know how to verbalize where you stand in the struggle, as Lauryn Hill would say. You know, even if you don't know how to verbalize that, the inner child will literally bring that out. They will produce words for you, because your inner child has things that it's like your inner child has words to say, but it's almost audited and edited by your adult self. And why? Because of things like shame, because of grief, just a lot of these things that we deal with on a day-to-day, trying to control people's perspective of us. Y'all, fuck all of that. This is not the time for that. It's really not the time for that. This is the time for you to make sure that every person that you respond to, you are responding to them like you are responding to a younger version of yourself. Because if you really believe in the one, right? If you really believe that we are all interconnected, you will not see anything that anybody is doing, quote unquote, against you. Is really not against you. 9 times out of 10, it doesn't have anything to do with you. These people don't know you. That's what I had to realize. These people don't know me. When they're saying these things, it's not to me. It's a projection. So when people are saying these things, doing these things, we have to understand that there's a mirror there. What part of you aligns with that person and where they are right now? It might have been you 12 years ago. It might have been you 5 seconds ago. But regardless, it's not our job to meet these people with like roughness. It's not our job to meet these people with harsh critiques. And it's not our job to meet these people even with parentalism, you know, to a certain extent. Because remember, when you were in that position, couldn't nobody tell you shit. I've always been one of those people. My top 3 are all fixed signs. So I feel like I'm literally the epitome of, it's hard for people to tell me shit. You know, You know how they say you can watch somebody else experience something. You don't have to go and step in the shit to see that it's shitty. You can say, oh, I just saw Bobby walking over there and now he's scrunching his face up, looking at his feet and, you know, taking his shoes. You could watch what's going around you and make this. I'm not necessarily like that, because I'm the type of person where I like to investigate. I have to see things for myself. Now, that's not saying that I have to put myself, you know, through the fire and the ringer in order to understand things, but I understand, I just understand stubbornness. That's what I'm getting to. A spirit just really wanted me to encourage you guys, okay? If you feel like your light is dimming and you're a little bit like anxious or afraid, like, I really don't know how this is happening. I'm doing all of the things, right? I'm doing the smoke cleanse, I'm doing the prayers, I'm doing the chants, I got the altar, I'm doing it that. But do y'all know, you know what it's reminding me of? Do y'all know the scene in, what was it, Snowfall, when I don't remember his name. Oh, Damison was like, you know, Katrina, Gina, bodies. They're all dead. Spirit is saying, once you really integrate that inner child, and the way that you do it this time, the way that you integrate your inner child is to spot the inner child, right? The naysayers. Because how many things that you're doing right now with the inner child critique you for? Okay, spot the critiques. Okay, spot the mirrors of your inner child and meet them with love. Meet them with kindness. Meet them with understanding. You don't have to meet them with agreements. I'm not saying you have to meet them with agreements. But I'm saying it's not always about matching energy, because 9 times out of 10 things are not always about you. This Aries full moon energy pushed everybody to be a lot more direct about the things that they're trying to portray, right? So the same way that it is affecting us, and we're trying to, you know, we have tarot readers in this group, we have gymnasts in this group, we have teachers in this group. We're a healing group, right? Not only do we work on healing ourselves, but we work on helping our community members and the youth around us to heal themselves. I forgot where I was going with that. But Spirit is saying, but basically Spirit was just letting me know that there's a certain way that the healer has to reach its audience, right? You don't want to, you want to make sure that you are as integrated with yourself as possible so that you can reach as many people as possible. And that's not to say that when you are in moments of development and moments of heavy evolution, that's not to say that the people won't be listening, or, you know, you're doing something wrong, or, you know, you should shut up because there's more learning to do. No, I think there's actually value in putting yourself out there at every single step. But what Spirit is saying is, when you are noticing certain signs, there is a responsibility. I was thinking accountability, but there is a responsibility as a leader to step back and look at the way that you are coming across to people. And it's probably just because you aren't fully integrated in certain aspects of yourself. So Spirit just wanted me to come on today. Last time I was on live, somebody was like, who is Spirit? I was like, oh my God. It was like nonstop, bro. But no, seriously, like, these are things that we need to address. Like I said, as new people coming in, everybody doesn't know what the hell is going on. Like, but people are like, who is Spirit? She up here talking to ghosts. Like, no, when I say, Jesus, when I say Spirit, I'm talking about my spirit team. My spirit team. So that could be my ancestors, that could be my angels, that could be my guides. If you think of all of that as the same thing, sure. If you think of them as separate, sure. I know everybody has different like verbiage for who they consider to be their spirit team. My mom, very non-denominationally Christian, you know, a little bit low-key, high-key, heavier on the Baptist side, but non-denominational is the church that we grew up in. She doesn't, when she says her spirit team, she's talking about the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost, nobody else. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. That's your spirit team. Me, I include archangels on my spirit team because I know that they walk with me. I also include Orisha in my spirit team because I know that they walk with me. I also include animal spirit guides on my spirit team because I know that they walk with me, right? I've been doing a lot of studying about Buddhism and Hinduism over the last couple years. It's so interesting because just recently, like as recent as yesterday, I learned about the caste system. So that actually puts a different spin on the perspective of Hinduism and to a certain extent Buddhism, since Buddhism was born out of Hinduism, but Buddhism specifically kind of does it what is it? It doesn't align with the caste system, right? So people on those type of spirit teams, you might say Ganesh, right? I really resonate with Ganesh. Who's somebody else that I also really it's so many deities, so many aspects of the divine that you can consider your spirit team. I'll just be completely, when I started doing door to door for AT&T, and I started working by myself for the first time without any of my leaders around me, and I was having a really hard time in this one neighborhood, child, I met a tree named Thomas, child. I wish I could tell you what kind of tree it is. I don't really remember exactly what kind of tree it was, but I noticed that tree, that specific tree, I would notice it in every other city, in every other neighborhood that I went to, and I was using that as confirmation, like, oh, my spirit team is following me. Thomas, my cousin Thomas, and my spirit team, they're tracking me. So your spirit team can be very diverse depending on what your beliefs are. And let's be honest, our beliefs can and will change over time. I am a heavy advocate for evolution and development. Okay, I will never claim to be perfect. I'll never claim to be super special and above anybody else, and I don't think any of us should, because I just don't think that that's true. I don't think that that's realistic. You know, as much discipline as you can implement into yourself and into your lifestyle, I do think that there are certain aspects of humanness that you just literally can't hijack. Like our biological body system, our chemical body system, we cannot hijack that. You know, how many times once you get a little bit older, your health is going to show you in a couple ways. It's just, you cannot hijack your body system, right? So you can't hijack your evolution, and because you can't hijack your evolution, that's even another reason as to why it's even more important to handle the people that are going through phases of their evolution that you recognize from your past. You have to handle them with grace and care, because there's no way that they can hijack that system. You hear me? God has to bring them through their evolution. If they are even meant, and who knows what the evolution is going to look like. It might not look like yours, and that's okay. That's okay. Okay? So when we handle ourselves with grace, it opens our capacity to handle others with so much more grace. Okay, so Spirit just wanted me to come on and talk to you guys today about doing some inner child work so that we can handle ourselves with more grace. First of all, some of you guys haven't been getting a lot of sleep. You know, you've been restless. You've been doing the things. You've been very active. You've been young and I'm getting it. I'm young and I'm getting. You've been getting to the work. I've been getting to the money. Everybody mad. Hey, you doing your big one. You're actually eating it up. But you're not sleeping. And that's because you can't hijack you can't hijack the system. Okay? Be gracious with yourself and be graceful with yourself during this period of development and evolution. And watch how the universe starts to bring people into your vicinity that mirror the grace that you give to yourself. Okay? Be nice to yourself. Celebrate yourself. Speak life into yourself. You know you're doing all of the things. You're doing all of the great things, okay? Speak life into other people when you recognize where they are. When you recognize where they are in their evolution, when it looks like something that you did 5 years ago, show grace. Don't shake they tower so it could fall. You don't even know if it's ready to fall yet. Like, you don't even know if it's ready to fall yet. And here you go shaking the tables like K. Michelle. Like, no, but it's okay. It's okay. Spirit's like, it's okay. Because at the end of the day, your spirit team understands, you know. And at the end of the day, your tribe understands. Your audience understands because they mirror you. Just like how you mirror them. So, yeah, guys. Let me give you a couple things that you could do for inner child work. Spirit is saying, first of all, Spirit is saying some somatic exercises. So I'm just going to show you because I don't know what the heck this is called. But Spirit is showing me, like, if you take your fists and you just do this in your midsection, that is going to release a lot of tension and pent up emotions. Okay, so where I was rubbing, it was right at the bottom of my rib cage. Okay, so this is going to be your solar plexus area and your sacral chakra area and also your root chakra area. So just doing a circular motion. Spirit's telling me clockwise. Okay, make sure you're going clockwise, and if you feel called to do so, then you can also go the opposite way, counterclockwise. But Spirit is saying that's going to help you eliminate a lot of the pent-up emotions that are inside of you and help your inner child's voice be expressed a bit more clearly. Also, I'm going to pin down a couple of inner child. I'll do a subliminal, and then I'll also do one from my page that I really like, that I've posted in the past. Okay, just to help the new people get a little acclimated as to what we do, guys. We do short and long meditation videos. Everything on this page is going to be spiritually related to health. This is a holistic wellness page. Not only do we do tarot and oracle, but we talk about more dense spiritual topics that are more taboo, you know, in other places. We also talk about somatic, anything holistic wellness. Okay, anything holistic wellness. So I love you guys, and I hope that everybody has a great day. I will be hopping back on live, and I hope to implement some of the techniques that I've been working on myself after doing some inner child work. And I also hope that this was helpful. If it was, go ahead and like the video, like the video. And then also subscribe to the channel, because you know you're coming back. You guys always come back because we just do this for real. Like, what are you talking about? And yeah, have a good day, have a good afternoon, evening, whatever time you're watching this. And yeah, I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace. Love you.